Hey everybody, Sean Adams, Life and Culture Reporter here, and I have with me the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is going to be the hot new Nintendo item. As you may know, the original Nintendo Entertainment System was re-released in a similar package, and that flew off the shelves and is unfindable now. Nintendo is having difficulty with several of their product releases meeting demand for these classic video games, as well as the new Nintendo Switch, which came out just a couple of months ago. Those are finally just getting restocked. This time around, with the Super Nintendo, this is the video game console that I grew up with, they have promised to try to be better at meeting demand. I was at Toys R Us over on the Carlisle Pike this morning at 10 a.m. There were about 40 people in line to buy 60 of these. I was, I believe, number 41. So I'm not sure if there are even any left at the Toys R Us over on the Carlisle Pike this morning, because there were, as there were for the Switch and the Nintendo Entertainment System Classic, lots of people trying to get a hold of this. So we thought we'd give you guys a look at what it has to offer. This entire console is $80, and what it comes with is a tiny little Nintendo Entertainment System that you can hold in the palm of your hand. You can see the little image right there. And it comes with about 20 games, most of which are just classics, several of which rank among some of the best games of all time. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy III, which I believe is actually Final Fantasy VI. They switched the numbers up from Japan. It's weird. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so we're going to open this up, give you guys a look, and see what you get for that $80.
Where did you say you picked this up, Sean?
I found this copy at the Toys R Us at Carlisle Pike. This was number 41, I think, of 60 available consoles. I have yet to check back in with them this afternoon, but they may already be sold out at this point. But you can also find them at other retailers such as Target or Best Buy, wherever you generally shop for your electronics. Look at this thing. This is adorable. You can indeed hold it in the palm of your hand. The original Super Nintendo was about, I don't know, 4 times as big. All of the games, the 20-plus games, are in, I believe, like a flash drive memory right in here. So that teeny tiny thing can go with you anywhere. Like I said, this retails for about $80, comes with about 20 games and 2 controllers. These look to be identical to the original Super Nintendo controllers. That's pretty cool. And you can play this right out of the box. Like I said, it comes with all the games. So if you are trying to play some retro 90s classics for the Super Nintendo, you can just plug this in and buy it. Goes right into your television with HDMI cable. So we're going to try to set this up.
A follower wants to know if we have to blow on it to get it to work like the original.
I mean, that I think will detract from the market value, because if you're not blowing on the game console, are you truly said to have the Super Nintendo experience? As you can see, these are just for, these actually do work, the power and the reset button. But the eject thing and the little slot where the cartridge goes, those are just for show. Where do the controllers plug in? Hang on. I'm going to take a look at where the controller actually goes.
This is how we know you're live.
This is more complicated, if you can believe it, than the original entertainment system. So I'm just going to plug it in right over here to our television set. Get HDMI cable input. Just kidding. Oh, I guess I'll have to probably plug it into power as well. So the games on here, as I said, there's about 20, one of which has never before been released in the United States.
Which one is that?
That is Star Fox 2, which is the sequel, as you might imagine, to the original Star Fox game, which was one of the pioneer video games of 3D graphics and using polygons in character models. It has not aged terribly well, and I don't imagine the sequel is all that much more advanced, but it's still pretty cool that along with all these incredible acclaimed games from back from the 90s, you also get something that has never before been released in the United States. Oh, and there's the box for you to take a look at. This is the HDMI cable. I'm going to need to plug it into the TV. Now, again, some of my all-time favorite games are on here, but there are a couple from the Super Nintendo era which are not included. One big omission, in my opinion, is the video game Chrono Trigger, which may be one of the best video games of all time, if you ask me. But there are several that are just like all-star, top-notch games, no matter what era you're coming from.
Well, that's a Square Enix title. These are all Nintendo titles, right?
There are a few Square Enix titles on here, including Final Fantasy III and the Super Mario RPG, which is a collaboration between Mario and Squaresoft. Also on here is Earthbound, which is a severely underrated game when it came out. The original... oh, I see how it works. This is just like a faux cover for the controllers. Plug that in right there. And let's hit power. Let's hit power.
There we go.
Maybe I do have to blow on it. Hang on. And
Wait.
was it doing something?
There we go.
Oh, this is fun. Okay, this is new. If you have not played a Super Nintendo before, you definitely did not pick what language. Alright, let's go to OK. And here we have the menu with the fun little, like, 16-bit, or 32-bit, I think.
Someone in the comments wants to know how old you are.
I am 32.
So that's old enough to have played Super Nintendo?
Oh yeah, yeah. I grew. This was my very first video game console. My very first video game that I owned was, where is it? Super Mario World. I'm gonna give a whirl really quick. So it loads up. The games are emulated, or the memory files are exactly as they were from the original. So I wonder if we can get back to the main screen just by pressing reset. And there we are, right back to the main screen. Oh, and you can see down here a nice feature, which is from some of the more modern updates of these classic games. It has saved my progress right in mid-game, so I can actually switch to a different game or just jump right back in. And I can save right here, so instead of like waiting to get to a save point or trying to beat a boss or whatever, if you have to run out the door, you can just save the game anytime you want on the fly. So, and yeah, there's a lot of titles to choose from. I think there's a total of 21. And most of them are really, really good. Some of them, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Castlevania 4, are, you know, kind of mediocre. But for $80, you do get some of the greatest games ever. Super Metroid, Legend of Zelda, underrated classic, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. I'm a huge fan of that game. Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, F-Zero, Final Fantasy III. So is it worth the $80? I'd say it would if you are a classic gamer. The problem, like I said, these are going to be hard to find. They were down to just 20 out of the original 60 when I was at Toys R Us this morning. I'm going to follow up with some other stores to see who has a stock left, if they expect them to even last the weekend, because, as I said, the Nintendo Switch basically sold out right away the opening weekend when they were all released. The NES Classic, the original NES version of this same console, the same little portable one, that sold out right away and has yet to be restocked anywhere. So Nintendo promises that they will do a better job this time around, but we will check on the retail situation and get back to you guys. So this has been the unboxing of the Super Nintendo Classic. I am super excited to give it a whirl. If you guys know where you can find some, let us know if you've picked one up and you've tried it out. Share your thoughts and whether or not it's worth the purchase and all the hassle of trying to get a hold of it. And that's all from the PennLive gaming office. I'm going to just play a game real quick. Working hard.